Let's add the third element to the funnel now. We've got the smoke funnel, we've got debris. Let's go ahead and add one more twist to the funnel itself, just add a little bit more complexity. So we currently have this one where it's going around this way. So let's go ahead and add just a slightly different element to it here. So we'll take, for instance, on this one, let's go ahead and make a new particle system. Let's place this one down at the bottom again. So you're probably getting pretty good at this, is that we start over a lot of times and just go back to the basic of the here's the system and then rebuild it out. Really good way just to keep practicing and kind of get that down. So this particle system, let's just call this one we'll call this one funnel 2. Or actually we can say funnel, we'll say funnel for the inside. So funnel, I'm going to left click and drag this one and make it part of the smoke funnel here. Inside the render rollout, we just want to add that same smoke material over to it, and you can add it directly onto the particle here, or you can go over to your particle material and drop it in there. Either way. Alright, so if we have this one, we're going to kind of create that same system, but instead of just copying the properties or copying it over again, we'll just work through the same stuff and make sure that we have everything set up. We'll do the pre-warm as automatic. We'll set our duration to 1, make sure we have it looping. The set lifetime on this one, let's make this one last a little bit longer. We're gonna go for about a 1.4 or so on it. We're gonna have it go a little bit longer than, actually, let's see, we want to go a lot longer than that because that's going to be only matching it. We want to make sure we match this one. There we go. Okay, so we want to make sure it goes up to at least the same height as this one. And then for the start speed, we're going to do the same thing like we did before. We'll set start speed at 0, and then we'll use the velocity over lifetime and force to bring it up and to make it actually working inside the scene. The start size for this one, we're going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's see what we made the other one here. Our start size was 1, so we'll make this one just a slightly bigger than that. We'll go for about a 1.25 on the start size. And then rotation, just click on your drop down, choose the two constants between, and we'll go from 0 to 360. Color on this one, very similar to the other, we just want to have that kind of brownish tint that the other one has as well. And if you want to choose the exact same color, you could choose that, and that'd be fine. Let's see, somewhere around there. We'll try a just kind of move it around until it gets close. There we go. We'll go for around there on it. Multipliers are set for that one. We'll set the simulation to the world, and we've been making this 10,000 on here, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and set that to 10,000. On the emission type, we'll stick to, actually, before we had 10, we'll go for about 5 to start with. We'll see how that works. And then on the shapes, when it comes to the cone again, how we had the first one we used was at 80 for the cone, so we'll go ahead and set the cone for 80, and then we'll set that radius down to, I think it was 0.2. Let's see, yeah, cone was 0.2 on there, so we'll do the radius at 0.2. And then let's go ahead and the one option we had before, we were using the random direction, and we can use the random direction on this one as well. I'm going to go ahead and check the velocity over lifetime. Now when you're doing this the first time through, you're probably going to find yourself going to the velocity first before you start setting the shape directly, because it's going to be a little bit difficult to see it until you start seeing the actual shape happening. Again, just like the velocity on the other one, we're going to do the curve option on it. And I'll turn these all three off. We're just going to do one at a time. So we'll do the X, we're going to do our preset, but it's going to be a little bit different this time though. Now when we do the preset here, we don't want it to follow identical to the same pattern. We want it to follow a little bit offset from that one. So what I'd like to do is go over here and turn, so we have this one set right here. Now let's see if we might be able to see it. We're gonna just pull these and just move them a little bit off. So instead of being starting here, I'm actually gonna just start moving. Let's see if we can see it. Nope. Okay. If you can't see it, the goal for this is to actually, I'm going to open up my editor. I want to be able to see this velocity and this velocity together. That way we can actually make sure that we're working with both of them. So I'm going to move this one over and down. I'm going to move this one over and down. So we're just shifting all the stuff just enough so that we actually don't run into each other with it, but that we feel like they kind of overlap in a good way. There we go. So all I'm doing is moving my curve just a little bit more to the side. Like that. And then we'll want to do a similar pattern to it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the X and go ahead and apply that same one that we had before. But then we'll go ahead and, again, we'll do just a little bit different of a pattern on the Z for it here. And this time, let's go ahead and take it even further down. And then we'll go up and pull it out this direction. There we go. And then we'll go down further right here. And then on the Y for this one, oh, and then make sure, sorry about that, make sure that the values, I always forget that they don't reset their values. Be sure you set the value to 20 on the X and do 20 for Z. And then on the Y, do a value to 10 for the velocity and set it from about 0.25, right click and add a key down here and take this up to about a 7.5 or so. Alright, be sure that it's set for world on the velocity over lifetime. Okay. So now that we've got that set into place, should start seeing it moving a lot like the other one. There we go. Alright. So we'll take that one, then we'll go ahead and do the force over lifetime. And let's push it off to the right hand side and push it down a little bit with that one. We're just kind of sticking to the same numbers here. The goal though is to have a different rotating pattern. So if you notice, now it actually rotates around with it, but it's not going directly with it. So it's a little bit on the outside of it, kind of giving that two spiral effect on it. Alright, color over lifetime, we'll go ahead and do this one similar to this one. And actually, with this, go ahead and click on the new button right there, and you've made a copy of it. Which means you can go over to your color over lifetime here, and you click on that one and choose that right there. Alright, so we've already got that one set, and then we have the size over lifetime we're going to choose as well for this one. And for the lifetime, the size that we're looking for, we don't even have to do a curve to it. We can just do random between two numbers. And the two numbers that we'll do, we'll just go for about a 4.5 to a 2. There we go. So we're just looking for kind of a nice big plummel of smoke coming up, and then it kind of wrapping in and following the other one. And then let's be sure that we set our rotation over lifetime. And this one, just like we've done before, we'll do it between two constants. And for the rotation amount, let's just do Do 180, negative 180 to 180. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and close this window. Make sure we're kind of looking at how things are looking on it. There we go. So it's starting to look pretty good. We're getting some a fun little effect happening with the rotation going on through it. And then this one almost feels like it's playing with the other smoke because it's kind of got that same curve, but it's not directly in sync with it. And then we still have our smaller particles and pieces right through there. Alright. So that'll finish off the third one, and then the last one that we'll work on is just going to be a little bit more of some debris and elements down at the base.